The stream crashed
Uh-huh.
right when you were playing the end of that video.
What? What happened? Why did the stream collapse?
I don't know, but if you could go ahead and play that
All
video.
right,
one
well,
more
here we
time.
go. I got it. There we go. There's the folks. There's the folks pad. There's Bison laying down, enjoying itself. There's a little campfire next to that picnic table. That's nice. But
nobody at that
picnic table. I don't blame them. Grandpa, grandson. And, Grandpa's taking a little photograph. Oh, isn't that cute?
Yeah.
Happier time. Oh, look at the bison.
He
Look
knew
at
the
him.
full bison
Oh,
rub.
look at him laying down there. He's just laying around in the dust. He's excited. He's like, hey, Howard. Hey, what's that truck doing there? Get that truck out of there. What are you doing in there? Oh, hey, you people with that truck. Hey, did you talk to that guy in the truck? Hey, come over here. And but now the bison's running around the tree. Oh, Grandpa. Get out of there, Grandpa. Oh, I don't think it's going to end well. Oh, Grandpa thinks he's hiding. Grandpa, you're not hiding. Oh, Grandpa.
Here he comes again.
Oh, here he comes. Oh, no. Get out of there. Oh, get out of there. Oh, Grandpa. Oh, boom.
I shouldn't laugh, man. I shouldn't laugh.
No, he's okay. We can laugh.
That's the moment, boy, that could have been bad right after it.
Oh, well, see, that's the thing. Usually, when they do that, then they start goring.
Yeah, that's right. They want to take care of business. They want to destroy whatever just landed on the ground. But
Man,
thankfully,
I'm glad for this old boy that didn't happen.
Man, I'm him.
Because
Anyway.
he wasn't doing anything.
Yeah,
This man was, they were not being stupid.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think they an acceptable distance. They tell you that you are to remain at least 75 feet away from any of the woodland creatures, wildlife creatures, bison included.
Yeah.
So I don't think. Look, I understand that there's a lot of morons that tour
Yes, sir.
Natural areas, and we talk about them almost on an annual. I feel like we do this every year, Ken.
Yes, we do.
Where some jackhole wants to take a selfie with a bison and they get gored and they deserve everything they get. This guy wasn't doing anything wrong. Wasn't doing anything wrong. So, more power to you, sir. I hope you get better.
That must have been terrifying, man.
Oh man!
Can you imagine?
When you're, yeah. I mean, hell, I can't run. I'm 52. He's 65. He's like just jumping around the trees.
Oh, I shouldn't
Why did he keep circling around the trees?
The dude?
Yeah, why don't you just...
Well, I'm not going to run through the open field,
No way.
Jackson. The trees
Well, he got him either way.
Well, I mean, I get that, but that bison was wily.
I'm trying to get to a weapon.
Oh.
I got no weapons. I'm following the rules in the stupid state park. No weapons.
You better have one heck of a weapon, because I don't know if one shot would take out a bison.
Oh, no.
That's why they make clips, Ken.
We call them magazines on this show, Jackson, but that's okay.
You would need something with the magazine, that is for sure.
A big one. I have a friend who stopped buffalo in the middle of goring an 8-year-old child. Good gracious.
Lord have mercy.
By using air. This is 6380 from the super text line. It backed off with the bear spray and the child survived with injuries. I think it's illegal to have bear spray at Yellowstone, but they didn't do anything other than thank him.
Boy.
We should try to get Grandpa on the show.
Oh, that would be great.
Wouldn't that be great, Jackson? I mean, I can't imagine that anybody's trying to call him right now.
No, nobody's trying to call him.
Nah. Yes, we had a slight YouTube issue, and we apologize for the YouTube issue. It had nothing to do with what we're talking about and nothing to do with the video that we were playing, but everything to do with just our little internet stream going down. And we apologize. I think we got it back up and running. It's 23 after the hour. We'll get to James and Mike, not necessarily in that order, on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. You know who can fix Grandpa up? I mean, not necessarily that broken femur, but everything else that's going on in that body. Dr. Kevin Mitchell and the Wellness Institute of Nashville. Bison Grandpa needs to go see Dr. Mitchell. Dr. Mitchell can fix him up. He can get him right as rain with spinal decompression, E-stim therapy, the hydro wave therapy. He might even need a visit to Medical Bay 1, that Grandpa. I would recommend it, Grandpa. If I were you and I was anywhere in the Nashville vicinity, I would make an appointment with the Wellness Institute of Nashville. That Medical Bay one's pretty cool. It's a futuristic healing machine. Massages your entire body, all those sore places that the bison got after you, while doing full-body lasers using red light, near-infrared. It adds stem cell stimulation for tissue regeneration. It's the real deal, folks, and it's only at the Wellness Institute of Nashville. They have my seal of approval. Go online to painisbad.com. That's painisbad.com to find out more, or schedule your appointment today by calling 615-246-5009, 246-5009. The Wellness Institute of Nashville. Go call them today, painisbad.com. Timberland Cabinets understands that the kitchen is truly the heart of the home. We've been talking about this for a minute now, that if you have family members back to the house, maybe you're an empty nester and the family's gone off their separate ways, but you have them back during special occasions, holidays and whatnot, you know that the kitchen's a very special area. If you've been thinking, whatever your life cycle on your home has been, if you've been thinking about replacing the kitchen or just gutting it and doing something new, I encourage you to make your first stop to Timberland Cabinets. Founded in Middle Tennessee in 2005, they have an incredible reputation, not just here in our state, but all across the United States of America. But we have the insane benefit of having them right here. That means we don't pay for shipping. We've got them right here in Columbia, Tennessee. You can actually tour the factory facility, as I did. It's pretty impressive, folks. You get to meet wonderful fellow Tennesseans that work at Timberland Cabinets and see the what home builders already know, what remodelers already know, what dealers already know. The quality is unmatched. So if you're thinking about bathroom cabinets, if you need an upgrade, or if you're doing a complete revamp, if you're thinking about kitchen, it's time to think Timberland Cabinets. Go to timberlandcabinets.com or call our friend Debbie today. She'll be happy to take your call at 931-499-7170. 931 is the area code, 499-7170 for Timberland Cabinets.
South Carolina's governor has named Senator Lindsey Graham's sister as his replacement. We'll tell you about that story and more coming up at 4:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Glad to have you with us. So I'll give you an example of one of my favorite Lindsey moments. Right after the bottom of the hour, it was, as I said, from a foreign policy perspective, I disagree with a lot of where Lindsey Graham was in terms of, using the big stick that was the American superpower military complex for our own purposes around the globe. I just disagreed with it. And I think Lindsey's, in part, some of his decision-making led us into some bad situations around the globe. That's a foreign policy disagreement that's neither here nor there. But Lindsey was the type of person that if you were on his side and he was on your side on any particular issue, you would want him on your side. He's a very smart guy who moved the needle. And he most certainly moved the needle when it came to the Brett Kavanaugh confirmation hearing. And one of my favorite moments of Lindsey's, we're going to re-rack that for you coming up in just a couple of minutes. Plus, your telephone call is 615-737-9986. Someone is going after John Rose in this political election cycle. Someone in the form of an organization that conceals their identity intentionally. They're called the Tennessee Freedom Fund. But this is Club for Growth money. It doesn't take very long to figure out where the money's coming from. Club for Growth also supports Marsha Blackburn. So the Blackburn folks will disavow or distance themselves from this negative ad campaign by saying, hey, we're not allowed to have anything to do with the Political Action Committee. And that is, on paper, quite true. But I'll give you the real skinny and the behind-the-scenes report when we return on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. And it's nothing that we haven't seen in the past, and it's nothing that we won't see in the future. I just want to make sure everyone understands the ground rules of political campaigning when it comes to actual campaigns versus political action committees and allowing those PAC dollars to do your dirty work for you. And when I say allowing, that is not to say that there's any... I don't believe that Marsha's team has anything to do with this, but they certainly could stop it if they wanted to. One would think. They would say no. I say it's a little more complicated than that. We'll describe all of that for you coming up in a moment on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic coming up in 5 minutes. South Carolina's governor's naming Senator Lindsey Graham's sister, Darlene Graham Nordone, to serve what remains of his term after the senator died suddenly at his home in Washington over the weekend.
My brother was the most amazing person, outstanding leader, and just a genuinely good man.
ABC's Christiane Cordero reports from Washington.
We will see a primary election, a special election, of course, in the state of South Carolina, and that person will decide who replaces Senator Graham as far as the Republican ticket goes for his previous re-election campaign, and that term will start in January.
Federal immigration agents involved in another deadly shooting, this time in Maine. Bystander video reviewed by ABC News appears to show federal immigration agents and law enforcement officers performing first aid on someone on the ground. M. Ackerley, who lives in the neighborhood where it happened, says she was inside drinking coffee when she heard a gunshot.
I didn't hear anything until the gunshots, so I don't know anything other than that he's dead.
ABC's Olivia Rubin.
The Maine Attorney General saying his office is investigating and revealing some information. He said specifically that those officials were, quote, conducting an enforcement operation related to a final order of removal when they say the subject attempted to flee in a vehicle in the direction of the officer and was fatally shot. Now, that statement doesn't name who the individual was, but immigrant rights groups saying it was a 26-year-old Colombian man authorized to work in the U.S. and had a social security number.
That is the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. BNA, we've still got that crash blocking the right two lanes 40 eastbound before Briley Parkway East exit 215. And Clarksville, still showing debris in the right lane 24 eastbound past ML King Parkway. Glencliff, a crash 24 eastbound at Briley Parkway South. Eastern Split, a crash 24 eastbound there at I-40. Rural Hill, a crash, right shoulder block, 24 eastbound past Bell Road. And then in Woodbine, this is a crash with injury, Nolensville Pike at Thompson Lane. And in Donaldson, a crash, Lebanon Pike west of McGavick Pike. I'm Ken Weaver.
Hi, friends. It's Matt Murphy for Grace Point Healthcare. Modern medicine delivered the old-fashioned way. Folks, I understand if you're sick, you want to get to the doctor, right? One of the more frustrating aspects of modern medicine for me, until I met Grace Point, met the good people over at Grace Point, was that you call your doctor when you're sick, whatever it might be, and they're like, "Well, yeah, we can get you in. Today's the 13th. How about on the 20th?" And I'm like, that's a week from now. I'm sick today. I don't know what the world's going to be like a week from now. I want to get in today. Well, at Grace Point Healthcare, obviously, they can get you in as quickly as humanly possible. You don't wait once you get there either. That's another aspect of modern medicine that we're very frustrated with. One of the reasons we call it modern medicine delivered the old-fashioned way, but the main reason is the way they treat insurance. Insurance, obviously, is very important to a lot of people, and at Grace Point, they're a direct pay facility. So you pay Grace Point, and then you can file with your insurance company for reimbursement. This is the way that it ought to be. But besides that, the Smart Care plan is a no-brainer, folks. For $99 a month, which you can pay through your HSA, you've got unlimited office visits throughout the course of the year, plus free basic labs and diagnostics. You don't wait. You got the free basic labs and diagnostics. You got the Smart Care plan taken care of. They treat newborns to seniors. They got it all at Grace Point Healthcare. Plus, they got your annual physicals that you need for back-to-school time. If you got a kid that's got a back-to-school physical coming up, call Grace Point, 599-6868, 599-6868. Once again, it's modern medicine delivered the old-fashioned way in Franklin. Hello, folks. It's Matt Murphy, and let's talk about one of the marks of a good parent. They warn their kids of danger. They warn you who to avoid, and they help you figure out who to trust, how to make smarter choices in life. Friends, Eurofix, they're kind of like that with European Auto Repair. European Auto Repair is just chock full of danger, right? There's a lot of warning signs that you need to know about. Eurofix is a trustworthy source for all things European Auto Repair. They once cut one of their customers a check back for $5,500 in a refund. Why? Because they police themselves. They believe in doing things the right way. Not every auto shop tells you the full story, but they do so at Eurofix. Eurofix makes quality repairs at below dealer pricing and has since 1999. You get a free 15-minute no-wrench inspection, a 3-year, 36,000-mile nationwide warranty on all the work that they perform, plus a rental car is available with every appointment. Stay on the road. Stay off the tow truck. Family-owned for over a quarter century in 5 separate locations. Call Eurofix today at 844-EUROFIX. That's 844-EUROFIX or online at myEurofix.com. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Obviously, you're not going to go. You go through life, and it is a rarity that you're going to agree with any one particular person all the time. And, I've long said that I hope that all of you, I hope you agree with me most of the time because, I'm pretty commonsensical when it comes to most issues. But I'm also a little bit off in the head, so I hope you don't agree with me 100% of the time because I'm a little crazy. That said, there were plenty of ways and reasons to disagree with Senator Lindsey Graham, the late Lindsey Graham, for his position. He took strong positions on issues, and I disagreed with many of his foreign policy stands that he made. He wanted to engage the United States of America in a militaristic way that I just was against. At the same time, when we needed him on that wall, when we wanted him on that wall, he was on that wall for us. Little video audio here, Jackson. Here is Lindsey Graham letting his anger flow.
If you wanted an FBI investigation, you could have come to us. What you want to do is destroy this guy's life, hold this seat open, and hope you win in 2020. You've said that, not me. You've got nothing to apologize for. When you see Sotomayor and Kagan, tell them that Lindsey said hello, because I voted for them. I would never do to them what you've done to this guy. This is the most unethical sham since I've been in politics. And if you really wanted to know the truth, you sure as hell wouldn't have done what you've done to this guy. Are you a gang rapist?
No.
I cannot imagine what you and your family have gone through. Boy, y'all want power. God, I hope you never get it. I hope the American people can see through this sham, that you knew about it and you held it. You had no intention of protecting Dr. Ford. None. She's as much of a victim as you are. God, I hate to say it because these have been my friends. But let me tell you, when it comes to this, you're looking for a fair process. You came to the wrong town at the wrong time, my friend. Do you consider this a job interview?
The advice and consent role is like a job
You
interview.
consider that you've been through a job interview.
I've been through a process of advice and consent under the Constitution.
Would you say you've been through hell?
I've been through hell and then some.
This is not a job interview.
Yeah.
This is hell.
This
is going to destroy the ability of good people to come forward because of this crap. Your high school yearbook. You have interacted with professional women all your life, not one accusation. You're supposed to be Bill Cosby when you're a junior and senior in high school. And all of a sudden you got over it. It's been my understanding that if you drug women and rape them for 2 years in high school, you probably don't stop. Here's my understanding. If you lived a good life, people would recognize it, like the American Bar Association has the gold standard. His integrity is absolutely unquestioned. He is the very circumspect in his personal conduct, harbors no biases or prejudices. He's entirely ethical, is a really decent person. He is warm, friendly, unassuming. He's the nicest person. The ABA. The one thing I can tell you, you should be proud of. Ashley, you should be proud of this. That you raised a daughter who had the good character to pray for Dr. Ford. To my Republican colleagues, if you vote no, you're legitimizing the most despicable thing I have seen in my time in politics. You want this seat? I hope you never get it. I hope you're on the Supreme Court. That's exactly where you should be. And I hope that the American people will see through this charade. And I wish you well, and I intend to vote for you, and I hope everybody who's fair-minded will.
Lindsey Graham, 3.5 good minutes of anger as he sits before Brett Kavanaugh during the Senate Judiciary hearings that happened during Donald Trump's first term. It was Graham at his angry and magnanimous best. And it was one of our favored moments. Once again, this is not about particular political issues, but it is about a fighter who saw right and wrong and occasionally called it out. And I felt like he called it out in that circumstance. I didn't know Lindsey Graham personally, and I don't comment on the personal lives of people that I don't know personally. So there are several of you on the super text lines like, what about his personal life? I don't know anything about his personal life. I know that there's rampant speculation, as there is oftentimes the case when an individual like Lindsey Graham chooses not to get married. A lot of people want to speculate about his sexuality. Lindsey Graham never spoke about his sexuality. So I'm not going to enter that arena of gossip and insinuation, except to say I have no idea. I have no idea where Lindsey Graham's heart was in terms of getting right with God or being right with God. I hope that it was in the best place possible. I know this, that I'm far more concerned about my actions today and tomorrow and on this earth than I am necessarily in wallowing around and that sort of thing, wondering, what about this, what about that? Oh, he's a bad person, he's a good person, whatever. I'll say this. I appreciate the fact that he was there for Donald Trump in the times that he was in an attempt to disrupt the system and drain the swamp. I am saddened that we've not done so. When the history books are written, in my estimation, about the Trump administration, the saddest chapter will be the effort that Donald Trump put in to draining the swamp and eliminating the stranglehold that the bureaucracy had as a almost fourth branch of government over those elected branches of government, particularly the Congress and the White House. And sadly, this fourth branch of government, unelected bureaucrats, that continues to grow and grow and grow. Donald Trump, at one point, truly was invested in draining the swamp, stopping the growth, stopping the overspending, and the swamp has won. Now, that chapter and the Trump presidency is still being written, and so I hold out hope that maybe we can snatch back some victories above and beyond these defeats. But Lindsey Graham was trying to help push back against that bureaucratic machine. And he did what he could until the age of 71, and he died over the weekend. Mike is in Old Hickory. Mike, thank you for your call. How are you?
Pretty good. How about you this week coming up?
I'm very good. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that.
How are you going to handle what's going to be coming up now that we're back at full war with Iran?
Yeah, I've got it on my list to discuss, Mike. We're back after it. And it's funny you mention it that way. It's number 4 on my sheet. Iran war status, back at it, is what I wrote.
Yep. And can you imagine, did Lindsey Graham support getting rid of Iran? Since we're talking about Lindsey Graham, and you said a couple of things that I kind of, get a little upset about, but did Lindsey Graham support Donald Trump on the Iranian thing that we're going through now that we have two battle groups turning around and going back to the Gulf, and we're going to go into a full-blown war now with Iran? We're not going to have troops on the ground, but we're going to go and drop so many bombs and things that Iran's Donald Trump says that they've never seen before.
Mike, how are those two things? Those two things.
Well, they're related.
Mike, let me finish my sentence, brother. Let me get to a period before you interrupt me. Would you mind?
Good.
How are those two things happening simultaneously? You said we're in full-blown war, but we don't have boots on the ground. If we don't have boots on the ground, we're not in full-blown war.
Well, you're a young guy, Matt, and you don't understand war. The tanks and boots on the ground are old style.
Yeah,
that doesn't work anymore. We are in high-tech war. You can beat anybody from the air and from space. And what I'm telling you, Matt, is that I know you believe that, we got to see the troops going there. I agree. I do not want to send one ground troop in there battling Iranian IEDs all the way to Tehran. We're not going to do that. So what I'm telling you is that now that Donald Trump has been made a fool of, and he knows that now, I hope he does, that you have negotiated with this regime for too long, you've been lied to, and you still don't get it, then why is he turning the whole battle fleet around to go back into the strait to finally do the job that he said he was going to do way back in February? This will be over 46 weeks. 4 to 6 weeks. It's all going to be over. We kill them all. Their Navy is done. Their Air Force is done. Why are we going back? And what I'm trying to tie in is that Lindsey Graham, they had their heated arguments. I think Lindsey Graham hated Iran. He knew Iran was bad. He knew Iran was a bunch of liars that would never agree to anything. And so maybe what's happened to Lindsey Graham, maybe, I hope in heaven, I don't know, I'm just speaking, off the cuff here, that he's saying, Donald, you better get the job done. Get it done. Get it done. Stop playing around. Stop negotiating. No more of these 60 days, 90 days. Let's get the job done. I want a deal. Enough's enough. Get the job done.
You done? I just want to make sure you're done. Okay, Mike's done. Thank you, Mike. 7240 writes in and says, Graham was a textbook swamp monster. Unpopular wars are one of the top issues, and Graham was a war hawk who never had kids. He wasn't sending his own sons and daughters overseas. I'm not shocked that you aren't going to slate him, but I also believe you said you admire him for calling out BS, yet you aren't willing to at least make yourself look decent by acknowledging he had massive part in foreign policy. They got our soldiers killed. That's one of the first things I said, so maybe you missed it, 7240. I'll go over it again. I disagreed with Lindsey Graham on his policy position in terms of foreign entanglement and foreign wars. And I understand that people get very angry about these foreign entanglements and foreign wars. He wasn't a part of Gulf War I, but obviously in the aftermath of 9/11, there were plenty of people who were complicit in the engagement in Afghanistan, plenty of people who were complicit, very angry, and even agreed to the initial engagement in Iraq. Some saw differently about Iraq. Some very quickly saw that Afghanistan was not going to turn out in the fashion that we were sold regarding the length of time that we would be over there, and eventually it turned into, I hate the term forever war because it is not grammatically correct, but it turned out to this non-ending movement of goalposts in terms of what our objectives are. If we don't have a clear-cut objective over there, then we cannot achieve said objective and bring our people home. Forever wars don't exist in as much as we've never engaged in one. So I don't use the term. I don't care for it. I don't want to get us in forever war. I mean, I guess I understand what people are saying, but I don't engage in the term. So we addressed that right at the beginning. But at the same time, I can disagree with someone on a political stand and still believe that they love the United States of America. And I think Lindsey Graham did love the United States of America. I understand that he saw very differently what our military should be there for. I mean, and I never had the opportunity to sit down and talk with Senator Lindsey Graham, but had I had a conversation with him, I would have talked to him about trying to square the circle that was his desire to cut our national budget to the point that we balance the budget, but at the same time, him defending spending millions and millions and billions and billions and trillions of dollars in our United States military without regard for the overspending in that area of the budgetary process. So there's plenty of ways that you can disagree with the man, but also be respectful of the fact that the guy's dead. And, we're not going to have to deal with this foreign policy any longer because Lindsey Graham is not with us any longer. It's 53 after the hour on Super Talk. The Tennessee Men's Clinic now has 4 separate locations to serve you, gentlemen, and I got to tell you, every location has a urologist right there on staff, and they are chock full of knowledge as to what may or may not be the issue in front of you. Gentlemen, if you've noticed that you have a lack of energy, motivation, or drive, if you've noticed that you just don't feel it like you used to, whether it's in the gym or in the bedroom, it's time to get to the Tennessee Men's Clinic, and they have those locations for you. For the last 12 years, they've been in Nashville in the Midtown area. They moved to Cool Springs a few years ago. They've now opened a shop in Clarksville, which is very, very beneficial up north, and the new place in Murfreesboro. All of these locations are designed to do one thing, is to help you get better, feel better, and get back in the game, men. It takes one visit, less than $100, $99, a full comprehensive medical examination, a little blood work, and they'll figure out what's going on inside of your body and give you a plan of action, a plan of success. Let's get back in the game, men, with the Tennessee Men's Clinic. Go to TennesseeMen'sClinic.com or call today, 615-208-9090, 208-9090.
It's 5 o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic coming up in 5 minutes, and the U.S. military stepping up its campaign against Iran. Forces carrying out additional rounds of airstrikes targeting missile sites, drone facilities, and other military infrastructure. U.S. Central Command says more than 300 targets have been hit during multiple operations over the past week. These strikes come amid rising tensions in and around the Strait of Hormuz. Comes after President Trump earlier today said the U.S. Navy blockade of Iran is back in effect as Iran claims it has closed the Strait of Hormuz.
President Trump said Monday he was reinstating the U.S. Navy blockade near the Strait of Hormuz and also claimed the U.S. would charge a 20% toll on all cargo shipped through that waterway, saying it was a, quote, matter of fairness. He didn't say how that would work or why the U.S. had the right to do that in an international waterway that he himself has said should be free for commercial travel. The president earlier today told Fox News the U.S. would take control of the Strait of Hormuz and get paid for protecting it. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
South Carolina's governor has named Senator Lindsey Graham's sister, Darlene Graham Nordone, to serve what remains of his term after the senator died suddenly at his home in Washington over the weekend. ABC's Christiane Cordero reports from Washington.
She doesn't have a political background. I mean, the two were incredibly close siblings. He essentially helped raise her. The family has dealt with so many tragedies throughout the year and came from very humble roots, which he's talked about quite often. And so it's seen as a ceremonial kind of gesture, the fact that she would be able to play out the rest of his term.
Special primary election on August 11th will decide who will replace Graham as the Republican nominee for Senate on November's ballot. Federal immigration agents involved in another deadly shooting, this time in Maine. A Maine Attorney General's office statement says agents were carrying out an enforcement operation and opened fire when the man tried to run away in their direction. ABC's Olivia Rubin reports.
Immigrant rights group saying it was a 26-year-old Colombian man authorized to work in the U.S. and had a social security number. Now, ABC hasn't verified independently the identity of this man. And a Maine State Senator Angus King, who said he was briefed by DHS Secretary Mullen, said that the agents were not wearing body camera and that the FBI is investigating. That could be key here because the video in other incidents with an ICE shootings has been so critical.
Health officials warning Tennesseans wash fruits and vegetables carefully as cyclosporiasis cases continue to rise nationwide. Here's News 2's Peyton Kennedy.
Well, no cases have been tracked by Metro Health here in Nashville. That's as of Thursday. The parasite is typically found in fruits and vegetables, and if consumed, can lead to severe gastrointestinal issues. You'll see Kentucky here is also among the states with the most reported cases, up to 80, and in Tennessee, up to 30 are confirmed. No deaths have been reported. 86 people have been hospitalized due to symptoms. Health experts say this is unlike regular food poisoning. If you're sick, you will likely experience symptoms for a longer period of time.
No recall's been issued, and the exact source remains unknown. That's the latest news, traffic, and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Got a crash 40 eastbound past Charlotte Avenue. That's going to be exit 209. And in Donaldson, Lebanon Pike west of McGavick Pike. Antioch, Cane Ridge Parkway, just east of Century Farms Parkway. Rural Hill, a crash on the right shoulder, 24 eastbound past Bell Road. I'm Ken Weaver.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Thanks for being around. We appreciate you. My name is Matt Murphy, and this is the Matt Murphy Radio Show. It is 6 minutes after 5 o'clock. Many of you just getting off work, getting into your automobiles, perhaps heading home. Hopefully, we'll make the drive home a little bit easier for you by entertaining you, educating you, just a little bit, informing you about what's going on in the world. And you can always participate, 615-737-9986, 615-737-9986. That's the way to get it done via the telephone calls. You can also hit us up on the super text line, same number, 615-737-9986. We're on a variety of different platforms. Obviously, we're on the good old radio dial, iHeart, Spotify, TuneIn, our own app, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Talk TV is up and running. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Rumble. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Rumble. We'll enjoy some nincompoops in the news coming up at 5:35. A Matt Murphy Movie Mayhem review at 6:35 this afternoon. Your calls, etc., coming in, and the news of the day always at our fingertips. So Freddie O'Connell, we played the ad for you earlier today, had a take on Marsha Blackburn's China ad, which we gave our take last week on Marsha Blackburn's China ad. My biggest frustration with all of this is we seem to be the only entity talking about the fact that all of this has, well, not all of it. I have heard no one else talking about the current state law in the state of Tennessee regarding adversarial companies and their ability to purchase agricultural land in this state. This is from 2024. Current state law defined by Tennessee Code Annotated 66-2-302 in part writes that foreign adversarial countries, their nationals and their companies are not allowed to purchase or hold agricultural land in this state. Current law requires them to divest themselves of it, and if they don't, the Attorney General can go after them, and it is a misdemeanor. Now, you could argue that the statute should be a felony or whatever, but the primary statute, and I'm going to read it to you, the term prohibited foreign party in the statute includes China. Prohibited foreign party means a citizen or resident of a country subject to international traffic in arms regulations. A foreign government formed within a country subject to international traffic in arms regulations. That reference in federal code includes Iran, China, Cuba, Russia, etc., and is maintained by the U.S. Department of State. 66-2-303, State Policy on Conservation. Prohibited foreign policies restricted from acquiring or devising agricultural land, divesting an interest in agricultural land. Once again, I understand that we're in silly season in the world of politics, but I invest the time and the energy in an effort to try to make all of us smarter as a result of the research that we do on this radio show, the discussion points that we have on this radio show. This is not in advance of any cause or any candidate. I've genuinely, and Dan Mandis and I were having a conversation offline about this, and he was asking me if I've decided who I'm going to vote for in the governor's race. I've got a lean, but I don't have a decision. I've got a lean, but I don't have a decision. That's just as honest as I can be. I'll tell you, look, I'll vote for any of these candidates in the general election. Any of them. Jackson, can you guess where my lean is?
I think you're going to write me in.
Yeah, you're not a political fellow.
How old you got to be?
You're old enough, I think. I don't know that there's an age. I don't know that there would be an age restriction on you as governor of the state of Tennessee. I just say you're not a very political fellow because you don't know me very well if you think I'm going to write you in, buddy boy. I mean, my goodness. Can you imagine, Ken? Jackson Williams, governor.
I want Jackson to wear a big old 10-gallon hat every day.
Oh, you got to be 30. Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, next time, Jackson. We'll run you next time around. Marcia's not going to run again if she wins. That's the conventional wisdom. Yeah, Ken, I like that 10-gallon hat.
Absolutely.
I see young Jackson dressed in one of those old timey suits like Grover Cleveland would have worn.
Yes,
I'm thinking more like have y'all ever seen The Fairly Odd Parents?
I vaguely, my
Nickelodeon show about the fairies.
Yeah. Okay, sure. Vaguely.
They had a character named Doug Dimmadome.
How do I spell that, Jackson?
D-O-U-G. Dimmadome.
I was kind of hoping you'd give me the end, not the beginning.
Yes, sir. That's it.
Wait, Doug D-E
D-I.
D-I
M-M-A.
M-A. Okay, I got him.
That's Governor.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's it, right?
That's a good one.
That's Governor Jackson Williams right there. Yes, sir.
There he is, y'all. There he is, right there. On the old Super Text television or Super Talk TV side of things. You got you a big old cowboy hat there, Jackson. We got to grow you some facial whiskers if you're going to pull that outfit off. For those listening on radio, Doug Dimmadome is very much like a Colonel Sanders knockoff with a big old 10-gallon.
No, more Boss Hog.
Okay, sure. Boss Hog knockoff with a big old 20-gallon cowboy hat that he's wearing.
Well, I got to vote on the Super Text line 9322. That's 2 right there.
Oh, well, you're well on your way.
I bet I can get Ken Weaver to vote for me.
Absolutely, I would, as long as you would, instead of a star on the belt buckle, have the word boss on it.
Hey, where are you on medical marijuana? That seems to be the big question of the day.
Yeah.
I will serve my constituents effectively and work for the betterment of Tennessee and keeping China out for some odd reason.
Man, you're sounding pretty good already.
Listen to these ads for 4 hours a day. See how good you get.
Jackson has learned, if you've learned anything about politics, is that if you want to be a politician, the first rule of being a politician is don't answer any questions.
Jackson's not going to allow any of that Chinese weed in Tennessee.
Good for you, Jackson. That should be your.
Is that where we're getting it from now?
Are we not sourcing our weed local? My Lord, what has happened about the state that I used to know and love?
I'm going to run on a grassroots campaign.
If you know what he means.
Goodness.
Jackson, where are you on the scourge of alcohol in this state?
I'm going to work to better Tennesseans for my constituents and something about China, I don't know. Fortune cookie?
You want egg roll? Blackburn 4? Blackburn 4? So, Marcia started it. Matt Murphy wants to end it. State policy on conservation prohibited foreign policies restricting from acquiring or devising agricultural land. It is declared policy of this state to conserve, protect, and encourage the development and improvement of its agricultural and forest lands and other facilities for the production of food, fiber, and other agricultural and silvicultural product, except as provided in subsection C. More on that in a moment. A prohibited foreign policy or prohibited foreign party-controlled business shall not acquire by grant, purchase, device, descent, or otherwise an interest in agricultural land in this state, regardless of whether the prohibited party or prohibited foreign policy party-controlled business intends to use the ag land for non-farming purposes. A party shall not hold agricultural land as an agent, trustee, or other fiduciary for a prohibited foreign policy or prohibited foreign policy controlled business. A prohibited foreign policy or prohibited foreign policy controlled business in violation of this section shall divest itself in the interest of agricultural land within 2 years of the date of the entity is found to be in violation. So Marcia started it with the China ad saying, we're not going to allow China to own land. And now Marcia-related political action committees are going after John Rose, suggesting that John Rose is soft on this issue. I've got the pull this up, Jackson. I've got the on my look. This is a flyer that came out apparently today, or over the weekend, I guess. John Rose, China first. It says America last. Wrong for Tennessee. It says China bought Tennessee farmland under Congressman John Rose's watch. Well, so this ad, this political hit piece is done by Tennessee Freedom Fund. The Tennessee Freedom Fund is owned by or managed by Club for Growth. Club for Growth is in the bag for Marcia. And I'm not saying they should be or they shouldn't be. I'm just telling you the way that things are. And so they're doing the negative advertising for Marcia Blackburn in Tennessee. If Marcia Blackburn was up by 30 points, would Club for Growth be spending their money this way? Maybe. Maybe the answer is yes. I tend to believe that this has gone, this has gotten significantly tighter. Now, Marcia's people are sending out numbers indicating that Marcia is still 25 to 30 points up. I feel like this is more of a 15 to 20 point lead. Now, 15 to 20 points is 15 to 20 points. It's nothing to sneeze at. That means that Marcia Blackburn is well in the lead, less than, 3 weeks and a day out before we go to the polls and we decide this thing in the Tennessee gubernatorial primary. But it's just a point of fact. So, Jackson, you're becoming more politically astute as every day goes by, and I really feel like in 4 years we're going to be able to run you for governor, and we're going to win this thing. I feel like we can win this thing. But if John Rose is China first, and if there's evidence that John Rose is China first is China bought Tennessee farmland under Congressman John Rose's watch, what does that also mean, Jackson? Can you figure it out?
That Marcia was a senator at the time, and they would have done it under her watch, too.
Right? So, could we not say the exact same thing about Marcia Blackburn?
And couldn't,
and every other congressman in Tennessee?
Anybody who's running.
Anybody in political office at the time that this supposedly happened. Oh, by the way, it can't happen anymore because, as I just described to you, the Tennessee General Assembly has made it illegal for China or any China-affiliated entity to purchase agricultural land in this state. So John Rose needs to know that too. The backside of the flyer is as follows. John Rose, and you can read, you can put this up on the Talk Television side too. John Rose, China first, America last. Wrong for Tennessee. Let me see. I got to get closer to read this. Selling us out to communist to China under John Rose's watch. You got to do this really. You got to do it. Under John Rose's watch, communist China purchased hundreds of acres of Tennessee farmland, letting our enemies buy land right out from under us. All right, so could I not say, under Marcia Blackburn's watch, communist China purchased hundreds of thousands of acres of Tennessee farmland, letting our enemies buy land right out from under us? Yes, the answer is I could. But this is a Club for Growth ad. Club for Growth supports Marcia Blackburn. It's Club for Growth under the banner of Tennessee Freedom Fund, but that's what Tennessee Freedom Fund is. I hate it. I hate the way we do this, and I don't know of a better way of doing it, by the way. I hate that they intentionally try to make it confusing as crap as to who is responsible for this negative advertising. Everybody says they hate negative ads. People obviously don't hate negative ads enough, because if you did, there would be fewer negative ads. So they go on siding with communist China. When asked about stopping Tennessee farmland from being sold to our enemies, John Rose said, "I wouldn't say I'm gravely concerned about that." And then it says, wrong for Tennessee. Tennessee can't trust John Rose to fight for them in Nashville. He sold us out before, and he'll do it again. All right, so this is the worst type of negative advertising because you're throwing rocks, you're hiding your hand. You create these political action committees that are almost impossible to trace back to the campaigns that they support, and the campaigns get plausible deniability because Marsha Blackburn's people can legitimately say they don't have any control over any of this. But here's what I will tell you, and here's what I know. When a third party this has been my 26 plus years experience doing this job. When a third party political action committee engages in this level of smearing a political rival of a candidate that they support, if the candidate doesn't like what they're doing, I promise you they can stop it if they wanted to. But they don't want to. But they'll sit back and go, no, Matt, we have no control over this. We're not legally allowed to speak to these third-party political action committees. You know better than that. I know that you love that is the fact because you know how to get the message to these third-party actors. It's a damn game of telephone. I mean, for our sporting friends out there in the listening audience, if you enjoy sport, right? And we all love college football. College foosball is right around the corner, friends.
Football.
Yeah.
Media days next week.
SEC Media Days next week, and then it's on. We love college football, right? Y'all, I love the game of Tennessee, are y'all talking to Coach so-and-so? No, we haven't spoken to Coach so-and-so. Coach so-and-so, have y'all talked to Tennessee? No, I haven't spoken to them at all. And I think it's a dastardly lie that you even bring that up. How dare you? That's just ridiculous. That's absurd that you would suggest I'm under contract with this fine university. Why would I talk to the University of Tennessee? Meanwhile, so the coach is out there, and the coach is like, I've never talked to these people in my life. And you go to the University of Tennessee, and Tennessee's like, I've never talked to these people in my life. Meanwhile, the coach's people are talking to some other people that are talking to some people that are talking to Tennessee, and everybody knows it.
At Georgia, they just have to worry about talking to the sheriff's department. Thank you for the pity laugh, Ken.
You know, we're getting better. We don't get DUIs anymore.
Just reckless driving.
We get speeding tickets because the players they're driving very, very quickly to where the alcohol is. You see what I'm saying?
But they aren't driving home.
But they're not driving drunk. So we're getting better. Y'all understand? And they treat you like Boo Boo the Fool, which is just as infuriating as can be. They're like, no, we're not talking to anybody. We're not allowed to talk to that political action committee that supports us, that gives us a bunch of money, that's spending all this money on negative ads. Oh, we wouldn't want these negative ads. If we had any control over it, we'd stop all that. No, they wouldn't. They love it. And they support it. And I will not go so far as to say they coordinate with them because that would be against the law. But they know exactly who to talk to and who not to talk to. They know how the game works. And this is garbage. And this is not me supporting John Rose. It's me trying to support more honest politicking. John Rose is not China first, and anybody that thinks it is dumb. None of these candidates are China first. Why is it that Marsha has to be evil or John has to be evil or Monty has to be evil? Why is that? Why is that where we are? The socialists, the communists, those are evil people. They want to take away your freedoms. They want to take away your ability to speak freely. They want to take away your ability to worship freely. They want to take away your ability to protect yourself. They want to take away your ability to be safe and comfortable within your homes. They want to take away your basic rights. That's what evil does. We don't have to make the perfect the enemy of the good. And it just wears me out when I talk to, no, Matt, we're not allowed to talk to these political acts. Shut up. Just shut it. We know what you're doing. And oh, by the way, because I know what you're doing, I don't believe that Marsha's up by 30 points. Because if she was up by 30 points, Club for Growth would be spending their money somewhere else. And I'm not saying that Marsha won't win. I don't know. Obviously, I believe that if the vote were held today, Marsha would be the clear victor. And I think that it's entirely possible that she's going to win. I am also sick to death of these candidates holding access like a bludgeon against the people of the state of Tennessee. And I'm not going to put up with that anymore. I'm not y'all need to understand my policy on political guests. I'm not inviting political guests on this radio show if they're going to hold access over your head in the way that they're currently doing that. Now, not every candidate. Monty has been as available as can be. John's been pretty available too. Marsha, we're trying to schedule something between now and September, I'm told. And I'm not making that up. I was told that her schedule was as tight as can be from now until September. Okay. All I can do is serve the people that are important to me. And that's not Marsha or John or anybody else. That's you. And I serve you best by being as open and honest with you using the years of experience that I have in the political arena and the access that we have to information and the wisdom that we've learned over the years through the intelligence that God gave me. And I'm telling you, I don't believe this is 30 points. I don't believe it. I think it's 20 or less. And that is a large hill to climb for any candidate this late in the game. But there's a reason some of these ads are coming out. And all of these ads are beneath our intelligence because, oh, by the way, as I've mentioned multiple times, the General Assembly passed a law making it illegal for China to buy farmland. Whether that law needs to be strengthened or not is a debatable point. And I agree with that debate. But don't lie to me and tell me that it's not already happening. I got to go. Jackson, why aren't you telling me to take a break? It's 27 after the hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Y'all, this is one cool event happening Friday, August the 7th. Check-in is from 9 until 11:30. It's happening at the Glock store. It is the O-Site and Glock store VIP event. Now, there's limited availability, so you're going to want to go ahead and get your tickets right now. You have a meet and greet opportunity with a couple of folks I'm going to tell you about, plus a goodie bag and all manner of instruction on O-Site and everything that they have to offer you. The meet and greet, Short Shot Tony, funny guy, YouTube sensation. You also have Justine Williams, USPSA's youngest grandmaster, 24 national championships and 8 separate world records. You can have a first look at the pre-release O-Site optics, hands-on range time with incredible guns with O-Site optics, expert instruction on tips and tactics, expert instruction as well on red dot installation and bore sighting techniques, plus a catered lunch and a VIP bag worth well over, wait for it now, $2,000, which includes a new O-Site optic itself. Get tickets at glockstore.com/VIP. That's glockstore.com/VIP. There's another event that happens the next day, August 8th from 9A to 6A, that is open to the public and free to the public with hands-on range time with the new O-Site optics and in-store discounts. But I'm telling you, the big boy is the exclusive access and limited availability VIP event happening August 7th. Find out more at glockstore.com. That's glockstore.com.
Full forecasted traffic coming up in 5 minutes. In Tennessee, among the 31 states seeing an increase in cases of cyclosporiasis, that parasite causing explosive diarrhea. Health officials say Tennessee has reported between 11 and 30 cases. Kentucky at least 80. ABC's Michelle Franzen has more on the nationwide outbreak.
Michigan remains at the center of the cyclosporiasis outbreak. State health officials confirming more than 2,600 cases of the parasitic intestinal infection in the state and say early test results show lettuce or salad greens may be a potential source. Health officials say it's not pinpointed a specific brand or grower. Other states also seen an uptick in cases where symptoms can range from cramping and nausea and vomiting to severe diarrhea. Doctors say to lower the risk, clean any produce and wash your hands often. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Third straight night of U.S. airstrikes on Iran. In the Oval Office today, the president told reporters the U.S. is blockading the Strait of Hormuz to any shipping that is doing business with Iran and conducting strikes on Iranian sites that could threaten that shipping.
We're knocking out all of their offensive capability, and we're controlling the straits. We're putting the blockade back. And it's a blockade not for anybody but Iran. In other words, anybody doing business with Iran can't go through. Everyone else will be able to go through.
12 states are now suing to block the proposed merger between Paramount and Warner Brothers Discovery from moving forward. ABC's Mike Dubusky.
Earlier this year, the Justice Department gave the okay for Paramount to move forward with its $110 billion deal to merge with Warner Brothers. But now, 12 states, led by California, are asking a judge to stop the deal from going forward, alleging it violates antitrust law. The two companies had said they plan to finalize things this fall. Paramount will have to pay shareholders $650 million for every quarter after that the deal isn't resolved. Mike Dubusky, ABC News.
That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. East Bank going eastbound. We've got a crash just past Shelby Avenue. Over on the South Loop eastbound right there at 2nd Avenue. Then 440 westbound past Hillsborough Pike 21st Avenue. 440 westbound past the Grandy White Pike overpass. We've got Briley Parkway southbound. Debris in the left lane right before I-40 West at exit 27. A crash with injury, Bell Road at Blue Hole Road, and then in Bellevue, Highway 70 South at Old Hickory Boulevard. I'm Ken Weaver.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN. It's 39 after the hour. Thank you for being around. It is a typical Monday. We're just kind of getting back in the groove. Lots going on, obviously. I've yet to get to the, oh, man. You fellas hear that Tennessee's the worst place to live in the world?
I saw that.
Yeah. Man, oh, man. Who would have? I mean, here I thought we had it pretty good, Ken.
Doesn't have the culture.
Apparently not. Apparently not. I bet our friend from yesterday participated in this poll. Oh boy! Y'all just look into the. I'm going to do it in the 6 o'clock hour. Y'all look into the metrics of this poll. It'll make you laugh.
Oh yeah.
They use terms like. What was it? Hold on.
Inclusiveness.
Yes. Inclusiveness is a metric. Quality of life for all residents. I like the quality of life. Inclusiveness was another one. Workforce to include looking at worker training programs, right to work laws, worker productivity based on economic output, right to work laws is the big one there.
Yeah.
Quality of life. We look at worker protection, right to organize unions, paid leave, voting rights, secure election systems, protections against discrimination of all kinds, inclusiveness in state law. Inclusiveness in state law, I say. And they also factor in reproductive rights in this category. That's abortion. Folks, this survey is just nonsense. So we'll get more into that coming up in a moment or two. But right now, y'all know we do it every day at this time. You know what the news is. You've heard Ken Weaver delivering headlines and Matt Murphy opining on said same. It's now time to find the nincompoops.
Nincompoops in the news.
You wasn't ready for it?
No, I was. My buttons were just off.
Your little button was sticky. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to look all across the great state of Tennessee, the volunteer state, all across these United States of America.
Nay, the globe.
We look all over the globe. We find the nincompoops wherever they might be. They can't hide from us. We find them whether they're in Antarctica or right here in our backyard, Nashville, Tennessee, and we bring them to the table, and we call them the nincompoops in the news. And every week, you get a chance to vote on your favorite nincompoop of the day, and then we tally those up through the course of the week, and then we have a champion brought to you by Dr. Kevin Mitchell and the Wellness Institute of Nashville. It's the big nincompoop trophy that's been in the possession of young Jackson Williams for the better part of the month.
Better part of the year.
Excuse me. Well, times are a-changing there,
sir.
buddy boy.
Yes, sir.
And
starting today.
And I have it on good authority that I get to pick the batting order.
On what authority?
On my authority. My authority.
No, I don't think. I think.
You think. What do you think?
What was your story on Friday?
What was my story? The winning story.
No,
I had the winning story about the guy that was naked.
I don't think you had a naked guy.
I did. I have a great story today too that I want to go ahead and get out of the way.
Where's yours from?
As soon as it pulls up, I'll tell you. Oh, dadgummit, it pulled up, and mine is from Lebanon.
Yeah, you don't get to go first.
Yeah, I do get to go first because I won. I won on Friday.
No, Ken, do you think he won on Friday?
Jackson, you do not know who won on Friday.
I just do the news, boy.
That's exactly right.
I know it was me or Ken.
It was not you or Ken. It was me. Okay, it was Ken. Ken, you get to go first. Or you get to pick the batting order. Go, Ken.
Was it me?
Yes, it was you.
All right. I'm going to go Weaver, Murphy.
Oh, Weaver.
I'm sorry, brother. You
hogged the trophy too much, Jackson. Others get to play with the trophy too, buddy. If you would allow us to hold of the trophy and feel of it every once in a while, maybe we wouldn't have this animosity against you.
This will not go unpunished.
I'm almost certain that you didn't win on Friday. Because you kind of I remember you phoned it in.
It was an exhibition.
That's what I'm saying.
So that means it doesn't count. That means I get to go first.
And
I'm the champion.
Too late. We've already picked the order.
The order is Williams.
Weaver, Murphy, and Williams.
All right, there you go. Ken Weaver, go.
This here's out of Smith County, Texas. A man has been taken to Smith County Jail after allegedly admitting to using meth before colliding with several vehicles and attempting to rob a gas station completely naked. According to arrest records obtained from the Smith County Sheriff's Office, deputies responded to an incident in Tyler on Thursday. I got a buddy who lives in Tyler. I have to ask him about this old boy. A white Ford truck allegedly rammed another vehicle multiple times. When law enforcement arrived at the initial scene, they spotted a black SUV on the side of the road. The owner of the SUV directed them to where the suspect had left. Upon arriving at the gas station, deputies learned the suspect had struck yet another vehicle. Records indicate that law enforcement encountered the suspect, a black man by the name of Jackie Gitchaway, who was nude and attempting to grab a person near the entrance of the gas station. Gitchaway reportedly tried to run away, but was apprehended shortly thereafter. The gas station owner said Gitchaway appeared to be attempting to steal from the store and made a gesture as if he had a gun. A preliminary investigation found the owner of the black SUV was traveling with his family when a white Ford pickup truck brake checked them several times. The driver of the SUV pulled over. Gitchaway then allegedly pulled behind him and rammed from behind several times.
Yikes. My goodness.
Gitchaway's trouble.
That's a fine name that Gitchaway's got, though. Gitchaway.
He remains in the Smith County Jail on 7 serious charges.
Just because your name's Gitchaway doesn't mean that you always
get away.
Get your way.
Oh, there you go, Brother Murphy. Good one. Yeah.
Sometimes you got to go to jail.
That's a good one.
Jackson, I think I'm going to move away from Lebanon.
I've got one from Largo, Florida.
Oh, do you? Okay, well, then I'll do the Lebanon story then.
Never mind. I don't have another one.
Lebanon police officers responded to Walmart overnight after employees reported that a man had broken into the store and was damaging items. Lebanon, Tennessee. A man, we were in Lebanon. We should have gone to this Walmart. Check that out, Jackson. A man facing charges after he allegedly broke into Walmart, damaging several items. He was eventually found lying naked on a pallet of dog food. Officers responded to Walmart overnight after employees reported that the man had broken into the store and was damaging items. Before officers arrived, employees, safely evacuated the sales floor and sheltered in a secure area. When officers entered the store, Lebanon police say they found a 26-year-old Madison man. Jackson, where were you this weekend? I mean, I know you're not from Madison, but they could have easily. In Old Hickory, Madison, it's kind of close.
No, it's not.
No. Have you ever gotten naked and lied on a pallet of dog food?
No. I'm working towards bettering the lives of my constituents and fighting to keep China out of Tennessee out of China. What are we doing?
I like the ad just like that. What are we doing?
Yeah.
What? China out of Tennessee out of China? Whatever, both. The 26-year-old is facing multiple charges, including disorderly conduct, public intoxication, vandalism, aggravated criminal trespass, and additional related charges. And he's yet to be arraigned. So, he was found 26 years of age, naked, on a pallet of dog food.
Did they think that he was under the influence?
Yes, public intoxication, Ken.
Okay.
He was most certainly intoxicated, and perhaps some other matters, involved in that.
Now, this is what they're talking about in these ads. In Tennessee, a man can't go to Walmart and lay naked on a pallet of dog food.
Something's wrong.
And that's the freedom I'll bring back to Tennessee.
He should run on the pro-naked.
If you want to go lay naked on a pallet of dog food, that's your business. Not my cup of tea personally.
But God bless you.
But yeah, as long as you vote for me.
God bless the state of Tennessee. You'll get you'll get the naked dog food lovers vote.
Boy, you will.
I tell you what. Jackson, your nincompoop, sir?
Man charged after crashing party bus while intoxicated. A party bus ran into 3 vehicles before crashing into a house in Raleigh, North Carolina, early Saturday morning.
That's pretty good.
The crash happened around 12:40 a.m. at the intersection of Person Street and Pace Street, according to Raleigh police. Gary Curse, 58, was driving a company vehicle while under the influence with a revoked license, according to warrants. One person was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Curse is facing the following charges according to his arrest warrant: DWI commercial vehicle, driving while license is revoked due to prior DWI conviction.
Goodness.
Man.
Reckless driving to endanger, 2 counts of injury to real property, felony injury to utility wires. He was also charged with the following infractions: failure to maintain lane control. It's hard to drive a party bus when you're loaded. All right. Possession of an open container of alcohol in the passenger seat area.
The man was trying to get to the Walmart dog food section.
It's being held at the Wake County Courthouse with no bond, according to court documents. Curse is out on bond for 2 pending charges, to include DWI. On June 27th, Curse was arrested for a hit and run. He was driving with a suspended license and no insurance. His pending DWI charge is from April of this year.
Goodness. Well, you can just do whatever you want over there in North Carolina.
I don't think you can. How did he get cleared to drive a party bus? That's the nincompoops here. Are the party bus company.
Yeah.
You just have to do a basic background check.
Right.
Just anything. Like, search
Sir,
this guy's...
we're gonna need your license. We're gonna need to do a license check, right?
Did he have passengers?
No, it does. I don't believe. I think he had dropped them off.
Oh, okay.
Party was so low at that point. My Lord.
He was having a party on the party bus.
I just, once again, like you say, Jackson, are you not checking his driver's history?
How does this person who has 2 DWIs this year,
this week,
a revoked license, and you still hire him to drive for you, and he your insurance costs are going to go up.
Yeah, he had a hit and run on June 27th.
Good Lord.
What are we doing, people? Vet your drivers.
And stay off the dog food.
And stay out of the Woolsworth.
And stay out of the Woolsworth. No, sir, this here's a public market. I kindly ask you not to use that type of language. It's 51 after the hour. You can vote for Jackson. Pity votes for Jackson because Matt stole this story. Or you can vote for Murphy or Weaver. Either way, vote early, vote often. 615-737-9986. It's the Matt Murphy Show. Super Talk 99.7 WTN and Nincompoops in the news. Hello, friends. It's Matt Murphy. Let's talk for a moment about Contours LLC. Have you heard myself or Dan Mandis talking about Contours? And you've wondered, I wonder how all of that works. I wonder if Murphy and Mandis are fluffing this up and making it all, more than it really is. I wonder if I could go by and see the facility and see what's going on. Well, I've got your opportunity, and it's happening this Saturday, the 18th, from 11 until 1 p.m., a special open house at Contours LLC. Now, I want you to sign up online, and I'm going to tell you more about that in a moment. But here's the deal. This is not a hard sell. This is just a chance for you to come out, see Dan, see Matt Murphy. We can take pics. We can sit down. We can talk about whatever you want to talk about, politics or whatever. And then you get to tour the facility, see the technology firsthand, meet the team, meet us, learn how Contours is helping people slim the fat from stubborn areas, tighten the skin, look years younger without surgery, needles, or downtime. You'll be able to ask questions, leisurely hear success stories, and discover the special programs and savings available only through Contours LLC. So whether you're interested in body contouring, facial rejuvenation, or simply curious about what the red light technology is all about, this is your weekend. Friends, sign up. Go to contoursllc.com and RSVP. We need that. I mean, they're going to have refreshments available for you. They want to make sure that they know how many people are planning on visiting in Cool Springs. Contoursllc.com or 615-236-9960. 615-236-9960. We'll see you Saturday.
U.S. striking Iran targets for a third straight night. That story and more coming up at 6 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Can I get to Joe before the top of the hour? All right, I've got some comments to make. Some people are suggesting that I'm trashing Marsha Blackburn. I'm not trying to trash Marsha Blackburn. I'm not even discussing Marsha Blackburn's campaign right now. I was talking about Club for Growth, Tennessee Freedom Fund. But right now, Joe is up next. Joe's calling about this Walmart story. What's up, Joe? How are you?
Hey, Matt. How you doing, buddy?
I'm great, man.
Hey, I got some details. My buddy's a bouncer at a nearby bar to that Walmart.
Yeah?
And obviously, this guy came in. He had 3 shots of Fireball, decided he wanted to start touching all the waitresses.
Uh-oh.
And then he went to the bathroom and was in there for 45 minutes to an hour. So, of course, they got the bouncer, hey, this guy's got to go.
Yeah.
So he comes out, his pants around his ankles.
Oh, no.
So this is where the whole nakedness started. So he throws the guy out. He was $12 short on his tab, didn't have enough money. So he decides he's going to take his shoes off and throw it at my buddy that just bounced him. And he walked off and left his car. Well, later we found out, he's naked running through the Walmart.
Well, at least he wasn't driving.
Well, the cops come back, and they're like, we're looking for his car because we want to get him with a DUI, too. And he's like, well, no, his car's right there, and if you want a shoe, he threw it at me. It's right here. And the cop took the shoe and stuck it under his car and left. As of today, his car's still in the parking lot.
Holy shnikes. That's how we get
it done. You can't make this up, man. It's Lebanon. You can't make that stuff.
The best part of this story is Josie, he threw his shoes at the guy that's trying to get his extra $12. You got your pants around your ankles, showing off your shortcomings. I mean, the $12 that he was short is what I mean by that. My goodness.
See, that's the culture of Lebanon.
To hell with this. I'm going to the Walmart, going to lay down on the old Roy.
6 o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. President Trump says the U.S. hitting Iran again for a third straight night. In the Oval Office today, he told reporters the U.S. is blockading the Strait of Hormuz to anybody doing business with Iran. He added he expects Gulf nations to reimburse the U.S. for the cost of protecting them from Iran.
I want to be reimbursed because we're protecting a very rich portion of the world. We're spending money. And so what we've done is we are going to be reimbursed for protection. We're protecting by the countries that we're helping.
South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster today naming late Senator Lindsey Graham's sister Darlene Graham to finish out his term in the Senate after Senator Graham died suddenly at his home in Washington early Sunday morning. Graham was up for re-election this November. A state Republican primary to name a new candidate has been set for August 11th. And Tennessee's among states seeing an increase in cases of cyclosporiasis, that parasite that is causing explosive diarrhea. Health officials say Tennessee has up to 30 cases as part of a larger nationwide outbreak. Restaurants, meanwhile, changing what they offer because of the outbreak, says ABC's Sophie Flay.
Some restaurants are now changing their menus as a parasitic intestinal infection linked to produce spreads across the country. The CDC is tracking cases of cyclosporiasis across at least 31 states, from California to New York. Officials have been unable to link the contamination to one supplier or grower. The CDC says outbreaks have typically been linked to fresh produce, such as lettuce, cilantro, and raspberries.
12 states, not including Tennessee, are now suing to block the proposed merger between Paramount and Warner Brothers Discovery from moving forward. Here's ABC's Mike Dubusky with more.
The new lawsuit claims the $110 billion deal to merge two of the largest entertainment companies in the world would result in less competition, higher prices, and fewer options on the big and the small screen. California Attorney General Rob Bonta leading the effort.
Movie theaters, basic cable TV distributors, and audiences on every sofa and in every movie seat would feel the impact of this unlawful merger.
Mike Dubusky, ABC News.
Yeah, the states suing are Arizona, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Massachusetts, Minnesota, Nevada, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, Oregon, and Washington. Earlier this year, the Justice Department said it was not planning to challenge that merger. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. South Loop got a wreck eastbound past 2nd Avenue. Bell Road just west of I-24. In the Nation, still showing debris in the left lane. Briley Parkway southbound before I-40 west. That's at exit 27. And then Highway 70 south at Old Hickory Boulevard in Bellevue, we've got a crash. I'm Ken Weaver.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Matt Murphy and the Matt Murphy Show continues. Thank you for being with us. We have one more hour to go. We'll call it an evening, call it a Monday as of 7 o'clock tonight. Your calls coming up, 615-737-9986. We'll veer away from politics at about 6:35 or so and get into Matt Murphy Movie Mayhem. Matt and young Jackson watched a movie, not together, but we watched the same film over the weekend. That's what we're doing now. We're picking a movie on Friday, watching it over the weekend, then reporting back on it for you on Monday. And our film this week was, I think it was 1986. I believe that's right, 1986 film, Stand By Me. Based on a novella by the Stephen King, who I used to absolutely adore and now can't particularly stand him because of he can't get out of the way of the political commentary on social media platforms, one way or the other. Enjoyed his work very, very much back in my youth. loved Different Seasons, which was a collection of novellas that he published back in 1982 that included The Body, which became Stand By Me, included Rita Hayworth and The Shawshank Redemption, which became Shawshank Redemption. Apt Pupil was a part of that, and I forget what the fourth work was. But they were all just great works. That said, we'll do that review coming up in about 30 minutes or so. Some breaking news. Can I get a breaking news horn, please, sir? Breaking news This
is a breaking news.
No. Just give me the. See, you're now that one guy that's now Marsha's going to come in here and start grabbing fortune cookies and ripping them apart. What are you doing?
Oh, my.
Now we're just playing around with the soundboard. No, the horn guy was fine. The one that you steal from time to time.
No, that is my horn guy that you use for your little breaking news.
Okay, well, just give it to me. Breaking news. Thank you. President Donald J. Trump has endorsed in the state of Tennessee. No, not that race. No, not that one either. He has endorsed in Tennessee District Number 9. Donald Trump writing on Truth Social, "It is my great honor to endorse highly respected State Senator Brent Taylor, who's running to represent the incredible people of Tennessee's 9th Congressional District. Brent is strongly supported by the most highly respected MAGA warriors in Tennessee, including both of your tremendous U.S. senators, my friends Marsha Blackburn and Bill Hagerty." A successful businessman and very popular state senator, Brent has dedicated his life to serving his community. As your next congressman, Brent will work tirelessly to grow our economy, champion our amazing farmers and ranchers, cut taxes and regulations, promote Made in the USA, unleash American energy dominance, keep our borders secure, stop migrant crime, ensure law and order, support our brave military, veterans, and law enforcement, advance election integrity, and protect our always under siege Second Amendment. Brent Taylor has my complete and total endorsement to be the next representative from Tennessee's 9th Congressional District. He will never let you down. Donald J. Trump. You know, notable that the president has yet to offer any sort of endorsement in the gubernatorial race. I wonder if that is forthcoming or if he will forego it. Just of interest. In the meantime, there are several of you that think that I'm being unfair with Marsha Blackburn, our state senator, or rather our United States senator, and potentially the next gubernatorial candidate on the Republican side of the aisle. As in, let's see, I've lost the text. Oh, yeah, I'm sure Ned writes in and says, "The more you're not against Marsha Blackburn, the more you spend time trashing her, Matt Murphy. You're not fooling me or anybody else. You're obsessed with fortune cookies. You seem at times to be a one-trick pony." To which I said, how am I trashing her? Also, I'm not talking about Marsha Blackburn. I'm talking about the Club for Growth spots that are running against John Rose and suggesting that if John were really 30 points down like Marsha's campaign would have you believe, that Club for Growth would not be spending the hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars that they are sending out mailers, calling John Rose China first. I don't mind who you select. I mean, Marsha has been around for a long, long time. She's got a lot of supporters. John's been around for a good while. He's got a lot of supporters. Monty Fritz has a lot of supporters. And I think this three-way race is a wonderful thing. And I'm here for it. And I'm ready for it. And let's go. Rising tides, lift all boats, and all these things. But I don't like being lied to either. And it feels disingenuous to suggest that on one hand, you're 30 points up, and on the other hand, we're going to allow a third party that is supporting you to trash John Rose in a way that just doesn't feel genuine. And then there's this other guy on social media, this Crabtree fella that wants everybody to know that John Rose grew up near him and that John Rose didn't grow up on a farm, although in the actual video that he posted, he admits that John Rose's family did, in fact, have a farm. but they also apparently had a city house. I'll play that clip for you just a moment from now. Max is next up. Hey, Max, how are you?
Great, Matt. How you doing, my friend?
I'm great. Thank you for calling in.
A couple of things. You know, I've been through the political process, and I'm an attorney, and I listen to what is said, listen to the words, and if you think about it, I don't know whose ad it is. I'm not promoting one over the other, et cetera, but the language in the ad says that they, under whoever's watch, China has bought hundreds of acres of Tennessee farmland. Hundreds of acres, not 1,000 acres. How many acres of land is there in Tennessee? I'm driving, so I can't give you that answer. But if you take, let's just use 1,000 for argument's sake. Let's say China has bought 1,000 acres of Tennessee ground. What percentage of that is Tennessee acreage altogether? And if you take that and you say it's 1% or 0.5% or 0.00009%, that would seem to support someone's response. I'm not terribly concerned about it if it's a minuscule amount, and it has to be less than 1,000 acres, or they would have used that amount. And then, secondly,
by the way, before you get to the second point, I'd like to answer your first point or your question.
Okay.
According to my Cracker Jack Google research, I'm glad you appreciated the humor. My Cracker Jack team is on top of this. And Jackson, did you look it up too? No, Jackson has not looked it up. I wanted to compare notes. Tennessee has over 10.7 million acres of farmland, is what I have.
Okay, divide 1,000 by that, and what's your percentage?
Yeah, I mean that's a pretty low percentage. I could do the math. Yes. So is that was that a anti John Rose ad?
It was. I don't know whose. I'm not. I know whose ad it is, but I'm not saying, because I'm not trying to promote. But I'm just pointing out the disingenuous nature of these ads and the people who are so gullible that say, "Oh my gosh, China bought land under George's watch or Cindy's watch or whoever's watch," and that's a non-issue. And I wish people would think, when they hear this stuff, think for themselves, not just hook, line, and sinker, but, oh, well, he's pro-China or she's pro-China or whatever. You know, the other thing about
and by the way, I just want to repeat, and mine is not going after any specific political faction or any specific political, but I want to repeat this so everybody hears it. Under Tennessee law passed in 2024, it is currently illegal for China to buy or possess farmland in this state. The General Assembly passed that legislation. Now, last year, they tried to strengthen it by declaring that Tennessee could own no business, or rather, China could own no business nor property in this state at all. And there was pushback because China had some minority ownership in a couple of businesses, it's my understanding, that employed hundreds, almost thousands of individuals across the state. There was one specifically, what I was told, an aviation company in Knoxville, Max, that employed about 400 people. And there was like a minority ownership in a Chinese investment firm. And for those reasons, they decided not to move forward with that legislation. But it is currently illegal for China to own agricultural land in this state. And John Rose and Marsha Blackburn need to know that if they don't.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. You know, the other thing with the American for Prosperity ad, and I'm just saying, let's tell the truth. We're going to put Washington bureaucrats where they belong. Who is the most Washington bureaucrat person in this race? And where is it that they belong? I don't know. I'm just saying, I wish people would listen specifically to what they're saying and think. Use the brain God put between your ears, and don't just roll over and say, "Oh," And that's what I think. That's what you're saying. Just
Yeah, I mean, my point is not to support, and Max, I think we're right in line with one another. My position is not to support one candidate or over the other. I've long been on record as saying that I want you to hold out on your choice until the last minute. And some say, well, why would you want that, Matt? Why wouldn't I want to pick? And then, well, because that's what they want you to do. It is human nature that once you pick a side, once you pick a team, you're going to begin to dig your heels in. You will not accept any additional new information about that team that might be negative toward that team. And secondarily, you start lashing out against the other teams. Well, in the primary session, in the primary season, because you like Marcia more than Monty, that doesn't make Monty bad, necessarily. And I'll get away from using these candidates' names in an effort to try to minimize confusion about who Matt supports and who Matt doesn't support. I mean, I think all of these people are bringing things to the table that we can all support. I don't believe any of them are evil. I don't believe any of them are run by China. For goodness sake. Some are better than others. Yeah, I mean, but hold off on your declaratory decision-making until such time as you've got to make a decision when you walk into the polls. That's happening on August 6th, or whenever you decide to vote. I think early voting starts this week, if I'm not mistaken, the 17th. The candidates want you to pick because they know that you will not receive negative information about the candidate that you've selected. That's kind of confirmation bias, but also that you will begin lashing out against the other candidates in this race. Well, if I support candidate A and I love candidate A and I think they're awesome, and let's say I've already selected, I didn't take Matt Murphy's advice, and I'm going after candidate A and I believe in candidate A, does that mean that candidate B is evil? Well, no. It means that you found someone that you better and more support. That I will vote for the Republican candidate in the general election. The real election's happening in August, though. Because Jerry Green or whoever the Democrats put up as their candidate of their choosing, they have no shot at winning this election cycle. Tennessee's not falling for that blue crap. We just aren't. So, yeah, my policy has long been that. Now, all of that to say, I don't like the ads that are preying on less informed people. I won't say stupid people, but less informed people. And at least two of the candidates are engaging in it right now, or their surrogates are engaging in it right now. Oh, I'm the real, I won't let China buy our farmland. Oh, I won't let China buy our farmland. Well, I won't let China buy our farmland. Well, what are you talking about? China currently isn't allowed. It is not permitted for China to own agricultural land in this state. So what are we saying? If it's a more nuanced take, explain it to me. Otherwise, you're just fear-mongering. China should not, by the way, be allowed to own agricultural land in this state. And they're not. And they're not. 21 after the hour. Oh, just enough time to slip in the seminar caller. Hello, seminar caller. How are you?
Hello. Yeah, I wanted to talk about our foreign policy efforts. I think you'd have to agree between the Ukraine war, which we all know, Trump was going to end on day one and it would be easy, and the Iran war, which is turned into a colossal you-know-what show. In hindsight, do you think having your son-in-law and your real estate buddy are the best people to handle our negotiations? What does Trump have against competent people?
What competent people would you have involved in the negotiations if you had the opportunity to select them?
You know, people with backgrounds in diplomacy in the Middle East or Eastern Europe.
You mean like Marco Rubio?
You know, yes, Rubio would actually be good at it.
Okay, and Marco Rubio, and correct me if I'm wrong, Marco Rubio is currently the Secretary of State?
Yeah, but he's not involved in the discussion.
Excuse me, what is the defined job of the Secretary of State, sir?
I have no idea. You know
have
as
no
well
idea.
as I do.
know you don't. I know you have no idea. You have no idea what you're talking about, sir.
Right. It's not Jared Kushner. And
You have
Witkoff
been
doing
totally embarrassed today in a minute and a half. You don't even know what the Secretary of State does, and you're calling this show questioning Donald Trump's decision making on who negotiates on behalf of the United States of America. Maybe you should inform yourself before you make an ass of yourself nationwide, sir.
Oh, so it's not his son-in-law and real estate buddy. It's
what
really
does the
behind
Secretary of State do, sir?
He has no control over who he appoints. Okay, are you talking in a normal State Department or a Trump State Department? You realize Rubio hates Trump and can't stand him. You get that, right?
Yes, I lean on your expertise about what Marco Rubio does and does not believe, considering how much you hate the Trump administration and how you started the call, Mr. Seminar Caller, by suggesting that Donald Trump doesn't put anybody in charge that has any foreign policy experience, that knows anything about what they're doing. And I pointed out that Marco Rubio has been intimately involved in all of these negotiations, and you can't even tell me what the Secretary of State does as an appointed cabinet post.
From 5,000 miles away, you dope.
Now you're left with calling me nasty names, and we're not going to have that. I call the nasty names. You don't call the nasty names. You dope. 24 after the hour in Super Talk. Hello, friends. Matt Murphy for U.S. Pest. U.S. Pest is the one-stop shop for all things pest control in our area. Within the sound of my voice, friends, what are you waiting on? Are you using someone else? If you are, what are you doing? You shouldn't be, because J.K. and Erica are simply head and shoulders better than any other pest control company in Middle Tennessee, and it's just not a question about it. U.S. Pest can assist you in your endeavor to eliminate pests out of your life, whatever they might be. Now, of course, termites are a problem. Termites are a problem not because they threaten your family or your health any more so than other bugs like, stink bugs and spiders and mice and silverfish and roaches and that sort of thing. They damage your home. They can get after your home in a way that the other pests cannot. You need to eliminate those things with a 100% preventative and corrective service guarantee. They also will take care of all of your pest control needs, to include flea and tick treatment this summer. Get those treatments with U.S. Pest. U.S. Pest can be found online at uspest.com. That's uspest.com. When you see the billboards in town, when you hear Matt Murphy talking about them, you know this is a great American company that believes in this United States of America. I always say they love the USA, and they hate bugs at U.S. Pest. Call today, 590-1260, 590-1260. You know, anyone telling you that it's open enrollment this, open enrollment that when it comes to your health care, yeah, I've learned from Shane Ring at Cover Nash, those people either don't, I'm being kind when I say this, don't necessarily know what they're talking about or they're trying to deceive you. Let's not be fooled. Cover Nash understands the programs and the policies that make sense for you. Shane Ring understands health insurance better than anyone I've ever talked to in my life. And he can help you figure out exactly what you can and cannot do. But if your option is not to just not do anything, you need to call Shane Ring and Cover Nash. Allow him to be your personal healthcare concierge when it comes to navigating these things. If you're tired of talking to people that just talk circles around you, if you're tired of speaking with people and they come up with this nonsense and gobbledygook that you can't understand, you need to call Shane at Cover Nash. He can cut through all of that and act as your personal representative to help get you better coverage at a lower rate. It's what they do at Cover Nash. Go to covernash.com. That's covernash.com or call 615-465-0023. 465-0023 for our friends at Cover Nash. Covernash.com. There's a lot of things going on in the world of diamonds these days, but there's something you need to know right now. Right now is just about the best time in a long time to buy a natural diamond. Prices are now at nearly 50-year lows, and they don't mind telling you that at Genesis Diamonds. Our relationship with Genesis has always been one of openness and honesty, and Genesis is just one of the best places that I recommend to buy really anything, specifically something sparkly for that loved one in your life. Nobody has more diamonds than my friends at Genesis. If you're looking for extreme value, this is it. These are real Mother Earth diamonds formed billions of years ago and ready to go at Genesis. Genesis has every shape, every size diamond in stock, perfectly cut diamonds, excellent symmetry with maximum sparkle. Get into Genesis now to find out how big a diamond you can get. And let me tell you, prices are great. Genesis is your source for all things fine jewelry as well. Their non-commissioned experts can help you navigate any purchase from engagement to exquisite heirloom jewelry. Around here, Genesis is the go-to for people in the know. And we know on the Matt Murphy Show that Genesis is the place to go. Genesis Diamonds, Green Hills and Cool Springs, the official jeweler of the Tennessee Titans and of the Matt Murphy Show. It's Genesis Diamonds. Hi, friends. It's Matt Murphy, and I am so pleased to introduce to you brand new sponsor on the Matt Murphy Show, my friend Catherine Beckman. Dr. Beckman is with the Beckman Dry Eye Institute. Now, a couple of facts. 13% of the population, that's 1 in 8 people, suffer from some sort of dry eyes. And the incidence of these problems continue to grow. People who suffer from constant red, irritated dry eyes try all sorts of drops and ointments and over-the-counter remedies, and those things don't get to the root of the problem and why you have dry eyes in the first place. Well, that's where Dr. Catherine Beckman and the Beckman Dry Eye Institute comes in. They're located in Franklin on Mallory Lane. Dr. Beckman has been in the business for decades now. She treats dry eyes, otherwise known as ocular surface disease, exclusively. It's what she does. Her practice is one of the kind. You will not find anything like this. She doesn't test your vision. She doesn't sell you glasses or contacts. That's not what she does. She does dry eyes. So if you've experienced this, go to a trusted source in Middle Tennessee. Her practice is up to date. She's been in practice for over 30 years. She knows her stuff. The website is BeckmanDryEyeInstitute.com, BeckmanDryEyeInstitute.com, or give a call. Friends, you'll be happy you did. 629-230-3136. 629-230-3136. I'll be talking a lot about Dr. Beckman and the Beckman Dry Eye Institute, BeckmanDryEyeInstitute.com. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Thank you for being with us on this Monday edition. I've enjoyed it. I hope you have as well. A lot of commentary from the super text line, such as this governor's campaign reminds me of Randy Boyd's campaign against Bill Lee, where he spoke all the time about gun rights and nothing about Tennessee. He's now president of the University of Tennessee. You know, I don't know. I know. I've been told, I don't know a lot about that race, but I know some people that were very intimately involved in that race. And I've been told that Diane Black and Randy Boyd were kind of fighting it out, running neck and neck. And y'all disabuse me of this notion if I'm wrong, if what I've been told is in error. I was not here. I came in 2021. But what I have, it's my understanding that Bill Lee was kind of just back there in the wings, an unknown entity, and once Boyd and Black just began destroying one another, here comes Randy Boyd. Or rather, here comes Bill Lee, right at the middle. That's my understanding. So I don't know if there's similarities between these campaigns or not. 8695 says billions of years? Question mark. Say, I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Did I say something about billions of years? I do believe the universe has been around for a long, long time. I don't believe in, we should do one of those shows one time, Jackson. You've never been a part of a show like that. An evergreen show. You want to do the Earth is really 6,000 years old show? That's a fun one. That's a fun one.
Nay, the globe.
The only thing better is the Flat Earth show. The Flat Earth show is pretty fun, too. That's a good one.
Ooh, I'll be Flat Earther.
Oh, yeah. I would say we'd do the Birds Aren't Real show, but Han gets mad when we do that show.
Why?
Stepping on his toes a little bit, that's Han territory over there. The Birds Aren't Real territory. Where were you when Basil Marceau ran for governor in the state of Tennessee? Is like an angry version of Mike from Old Hickory. Oh, I bet he was. Pastor Patrick writes in and says, the Secretary of State handles foreign policy. It doesn't change the fact that Trump is not into the Russian-Ukraine war as promised, nor does it change the fact that he can't get out of the Iran war. You know what it does? I understand that Donald Trump made a campaign promise. I understand that Donald Trump said this would be easy. Donald Trump thought that it would be easy. It was not easy, and he has been unable to do so. Political figures all across the spectrum, from Democrat to Republican to every political affiliation in between, have made campaign promises that they've not been able to fulfill. That doesn't change the fact that Donald Trump did not fulfill it. But Barack Obama made campaign promises. Bill Clinton made campaign promises. George W. Bush made campaign promises. Joe Biden made campaign promises, not that he would remember it. And sometimes those promises are filled and sometimes they are not. Sometimes they are full of it when they utter the words. I believe Donald Trump thought he had a chance to end the Ukraine-Russian conflict. I thought that he could get it done. He could not. He could not. The Ukrainians were inflexible on their side, and the Russians obviously are the aggressor on their side. Then Pastor Patrick says, Donald Trump's not a fiscal conservative. Well, tell me when Donald Trump has described himself as such. He's never done that. Donald Trump has never described himself as a fiscal conservative, to my knowledge. I don't think he uses the word conservative very often. He made a massive blunder in Iran. Agreed. Likely will cost him midterms. Probably. Realistic the remainder of his term. Oh, no doubt. If the Democrats take over either of the houses of Congress, Donald Trump will not accomplish anything else in his term that he cannot do through executive order. I mean, it is what it is. But the Iranian war was a mistake, in my opinion. I believe that it was a mistake in as much as if our goal was to stop, and by the way, it has taken me a long time to come to this conclusion. And those of you that listen every day, those of you that understand and are willing to digest the incredible nuance that goes into discussing matters of foreign policy like this, I hope you recognize that. I don't enter this lightly. For weeks on the front end, I said, I hope they know something that I don't know. For months, I've been saying, I hope they have a way out that I can't figure. And sadly, everything that we do is predicated on the honesty of the enemy, and the enemy is not an honest actor in any of this, and they don't care if they die. That's the problem. Why would I call Iran a mistake? Because if our stated goal was to eliminate their ability to get close to a nuclear weapon, we could have done that with tactical strikes that have nothing to do with the Strait of Hormuz, that have nothing to do with our engagement in that country and the manner in which we're doing it. And unfortunately, we announced on the front end that we had no interest on boots on the ground on the side, and that exacerbated the issue. So I would agree that that's the case. I do also agree, or I this is not an agreement because you didn't bring up the point. I will say that I think Donald Trump knows that. Donald Trump is not going to admit a mistake, but Donald Trump understands the significance of the midterms. He understands that his presidency is effectively over without keeping the House and the Senate. And he understands that this is hurting the American economy and the global economy by extension. Even if he recognizes the importance of keeping Iran away from nuclear weapons, we can do all of that. I think Donald Trump believed that he could find a path to peace in the Middle East. And if he does that, he's on Mount Rushmore, right? But he can't. And he sadly, I think, knows that now. And that's my take on that. 43 after the hour, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Matt Murphy. That's right. An opportunity to turn our attention away from the world of politics and into the realm of entertainment, specifically fabulous feature film. You know what we need? I love The New Beginning. I love it. I'm all about it. Do you like it? Are you a fan?
It's growing on me.
I like it. I think we need something on the back end. We can talk about that. Something like low on the back end, a little flow. You know what I mean? Well, we'll talk about that. Today's film that Matt Murphy and Jackson Williams enjoyed over the weekend. I say enjoyed. I don't know what your opinion on it was. The 1986 feature, Stand By Me, as nominated by yours truly and as voted on by the listening audience this past Friday. 1986, the Stephen King novella in which a writer reminisces about the formative years of his youth, particularly 48 Hours with his best friend searching for a dead body, became the classic film Stand By Me. I have some wonderful fun facts about Stand By Me, but those will come after a full-throated review by yours truly and Jackson Williams. Jackson?
Yes.
What'd you think of this film?
I thought it was a fun coming of age. It reminded me a lot of, you ever seen The Outsiders?
I have, yes. Mm-hmm.
It seemed very along those lines.
Sure. That era of time.
That era, that kind of movie. I will say, I liked The Outsiders better.
Sure. No, I get that. I get that.
That's
but
my personal preference.
You know, I thought of you in this film, though, Jackson, because I feel like you and, I've met Tyler, your bestie.
This movie is infinitely more quotable in a way that it's not FCC safe.
Correct. Sure.
Like, I can't remember really any quotes from The Outsiders, but I can remember a couple from Stand By Me.
What he said was, Chopper, sick him. But what I heard was Chopper, sick balls.
Chopper's a little cute little puppy, too.
Chopper's no biggie. And you know what? That kid had it coming to him.
Sneaking in the junkyard.
I mean, the Corey Feldman kid going after the junkyard guy. The junkyard guy had a right to be mine. Just walk away from it. But no, you couldn't walk away from it. Now he's going to start talking about your abusive father, and you're going to cry and going to get all upset about things. I will say this. I watched this movie years ago. Haven't seen it in a long time. Revisiting it, the dynamics between the kids and what they react to and how they kind of overreact to things, it's a little overwrought nowadays for me, but I get it because they're 12 and everything is that way when you're 12 years old, right? Everything is over the top when you're 12 years old.
Yes.
And it's a great storyline. Obviously, the arc of the story involves the fact that Gordy lost his brother. Yes. And then going on this trip with his best friends to see or to find a dead body kind of forces him to
deal with that.
To deal with that emotionally, and the other guys are dealing with their own things.
Kiefer Sutherland, unrecognizable in this movie.
Oh my gosh! Oh, that was Kiefer. Oh, Kiefer.
I'm like,
when
that's
he was
Jack Bauer.
Oh yeah.
He was in that ABC show.
Now get out of here.
He was the president, wasn't he?
Dime store hood. Yes, he was in the AB show Designated Survivor.
Yeah, that was a good show.
That was a good show.
Like
24 is a pretty good show too. Back in the day, if you've never seen 24, it's a good watch. How are you rating this film, Jackson?
I'm going to give it a 7 out of 11.2 Jacksons.
7 out of 11.2 Jacksons. It was a quick film.
It was fast paced. I liked that.
Popped right on.
The blueberry
by.
pie scene was good.
That's right. That's kind of demonstrating. And
the leeches, I don't like leeches. It's one of my big fears that I'll never really come into contact with. You know what I'm saying?
Little bloodsuckers.
Yeah, I don't like leeches.
Yeah.
And then one guy,
and got in his
I didn't like that.
Got in his undershorts there, and that's tough. You got to get him off of there. The leech scene was tough to watch. Did you know? Few fun facts about the movie Stand By Me. Obviously, the short story originally called The Body. They changed the name to make it a little more approachable, used the Ben E. King song Stand By Me in the production of the film. Did you know that Coca-Cola almost shut the movie down entirely?
I did not.
The soda company bought Embassy Pictures, the film's original production company, and announced that they weren't going to fund the movie. Just 2 days before they were set to start shooting. Television legend Norman Lear, who worked with Reiner for years on the sitcom All in the Family, was one of the 3 owners of Embassy prior to the sale. He believed in the project enough that he personally paid for the film's $8 million budget. Did you know that Richard Dreyfuss wasn't the first or the second choice to play the adult Gordy? David Dukes, not David Duke, different guy, David Dukes, was originally cast and apparently filmed the part, but ultimately it was decided that he did not have the right voice for the part. Michael McKean gave it a shot. Richard Dreyfuss came in third and absolutely nailed it.
He was good. I liked the adult Gordy sections.
Yeah, he's got a great voice for that.
And he narrates.
Yeah, he's the narrator.
It's a good movie.
Did you know that River Phoenix lost his virginity during the filming of the movie? At only 13 years of age.
Did not know that.
Yeah,
Didn't really need to know that.
Well, I mean, hey, this is part. I've got a list of fun facts, friends, and that's a fun fact for you. The young actors were never actually in danger of getting hit by the train, obviously. The train scene is a pretty cool scene where train they used a 600 millimeter image compressed camera lens so that the train would be much, much further than it actually appeared. And because of that, Vern and Gordy weren't fearful enough in the scene, meaning they had to shoot take after take with the exhausted crew pushing a heavy camera down the train tracks. Well, Rob Reiner eventually lost his temper and started screaming at the children that they were bleeping every bleeping thing up and then began threatening to fire them off the movie. Reiner got his shot as a result. And the idea was to get the most authentic reaction possible, so they did not reveal Ray Bauer's body. You know, at the end, Jackson, when they had the body shot, the body scene, the first moment that the kids saw that body is when we saw that body.
Oh, really?
On film. So they intentionally decided to do that so that the kids' reaction would be authentic. And then finally, you mentioned Kiefer Sutherland, son of Donald, a fine actor in his own right. Sutherland played Ace Merrill, the bully in the film. He wanted to stay in character off camera. He did one of these
method actors.
Yeah, method actor type
I bet
things.
you were like that.
I was not method. I
walk into the juice bar on campus after doing some Shakespeare. Wherefore art thou strawberry banana smoothie?
That's not. I knew people that were. I acted with a bunch of people that were method, and they were insufferable.
Insane.
Oh my God, insufferable. No, we had a guy, Marcus. He would come in during production. He would come in 4 hours before the curtain went up, would get in makeup and get in character, and then would refuse to. I mean, if you called him Marcus, he'd get mad at you. Who's Marcus? It's like, dude, you're Marcus. You're a weirdo.
Snap out of it, brother.
Yeah. Anyway, the 3 more seasoned actors playing the good guys didn't seem to care, but young Jerry O'Connell was legit petrified of Kiefer Sutherland. Presumably, a part of staying in character for Sutherland was rolling a car off the sandbank with John Cusack, who played his late brother, and O'Connell was petrified of it. Anyway, so Reiner came up with the title of the movie. Columbia Pictures did not like the idea of using The Body as a movie title for a variety of reasons, and they thought of naming it after the Ben E. King song that plays at the end of the movie. Reiner's suggestion was, quote, the least unpopular opinion. Well, there you go. Some fun facts about Stand By Me. If you've not seen the movie in a while, you can find it on a variety of streaming platforms. And we encourage you to get out and go to the movies in your own home. That's Matt Murphy Movie Mayhem on Super Talk 99.7 WTN, 52 after the hour. Hi, friends. Matt Murphy for Better Water. Are you for better water? Don't you want some better water? Well, you should. And if you do, then I can tell you, you go to betterwater.com or call Better Water LLC, and they can make it happen for you. We're talking about a full range of water treatment options and equipment, UV light, specialized filters, water softeners, a reverse osmosis filter. I call it the Murphy. Just because I have it in my house, and I absolutely love this thing. They're based out of Smyrna. They treat all of Middle Tennessee, and they can help treat you. What are you cooking with? What are you cleaning with? What are you washing with? What are you drinking in your home? If you don't know, you need to know. I mean, we're hearing story after story about things like explosive diarrhea, and I'm not suggesting those two things are related, but I am saying this. If you don't know what kind of water you're drinking, you're at risk. You need to know. BetterWater.com or call 615-355-6063, 355-6063 for Better Water LLC. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Big time votes in Nincompoops in the News here. I'm looking over some of the votes, Jackson. Who won on the YouTube chat?
Crooked Matt Murphy.
Crooked Matt Murphy. Matt Murphy has won Nincompoops in the News.
How many did I lose by?
You were down by 7.
Oh.
Matt, today, you got your fair share of votes. I think you got more than Weaver. But it was a good story. And I pulled rank on you, Jackson, and you're right to be a little frustrated with it. You're right to be a little frustrated, but you know what? That's the way it goes. Sometimes you got to go under the yellow line to make the pass. And sometimes you get caught and sometimes you don't. That's how that goes.
Bubba didn't make the pass under the line.
So tomorrow on the show, we've got Jeremy Thompson's coming on. He is running in the 9th Congressional District, fresh off the heels of Donald Trump's endorsement of one of his competitors, Brent Taylor. We'll talk to him about his candidacy there. Number 2, we're going to talk about an issue that I've been meaning to discuss for a while now, and that is advanced financial. Where are you on the government's role in preventing usury practices in the state of Tennessee? Unfair lending practices in this state. Should the government have more of a role? Let me promise you this. Advanced Financial is spending a lot of money to prevent lawmakers from doing anything about this. I don't know whether they should or not. I don't know where I'm at on it. We're going to discuss it together tomorrow. Until then, I hope you have a great evening. For Jackson Williams, for Ken Weaver, and the rest of the crew, Matt Murphy speaking and saying, hug your loved ones. So long.